Dual Dragons with Miraidon and Koraidon was able to finish 11th place in the last stadium ladder season. We're going to be trying it out and seeing how well it can perform. This is Miraidon and Koraidon on the same team that was able to get 11th place in the last battle stadium ladder season. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Choice Specs Miraidon with the Hadron engine to summon the electric terrain and boost its special attack with the Fairy Terror type, a great defensive type against opposing Miraidon, but also boosting that Dazzling Gleam with the Electro Drift, Draco Meteor, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch. It's a pretty standard Choice Specs Miraidon. There's not really too much to say about it. It's a really incredible Pokemon with the electric terrain plus the ability giving a special attack boost and the Choice Specs multipliers. It's absolutely absurd. It's also one of the fastest restricted Pokemon out there with a base 135. This one though, capitalizing more on bulk and special attack more because you do have the support from the Grimmsnarl and the Volcarona as well, so it doesn't have to invest too much into speed, rather just be able to take attacks in general and just fire out some really strong hits. Not much else to say. Next up, we have the Loaded Dice Koraidon, which makes Scale Shot guaranteed to hit at least 4 times and a 50% chance to make it hit 5 times, with the ability to summon the sun, boost up its physical damage output with the Fire Terror type, a great defensive typing and offensive typing because it powers up its fire type moves, as well as reduces the damage from taking really strong fairy and ice moves that Koraidon is normally weak to, with the moveset of Flare Blitz, Scale Shot, Collision Course, Protect. Really, Koraidon with the Loaded Dice, it is the 3rd most common item on Koraidon. Clear Amulet and Life Orb tend to be the more common items, but Loaded Dice with Scale Shot is really cool because it makes Koraidon a really interesting sweeper. Flame Charge is a little bit weak even in the sun and the boost, so Scale Shot being a same type attack bonus thanks to its dragon typing, being able to threaten opposing Miraidon and dragons in general, it can be really powerful, especially into like things like the Focus Sash Xianpao, the Focus Sash Calyx Shadow Rider. It's able to threaten all of those thanks to the Load Dice and one-shot them through that Focus Sash. Otherwise, it is a very powerful Pokemon. Doesn't really need that much bulk because it does take a lot of recoil from the very powerful Flare Blitz, with this Koraidon just going with max attack to maximize its damage output and max speed because again it is taking a lot of recoil. You're lowering your defense stat with your Scale Shots to boost up the speed, so you do have that trade-off. So this Koraidon really just is trying to get as many hits off as possible. Next Pokemon we have is the Covercloak Grimmsnarl to prevent the Grimmsnarl from getting affected by the Fake Out, with the ability Prankster to give it a +1 priority in non-attacking moves, with the Ground Terror type, which I'm assuming is just to mainly help out against opposing Miraidon if they want to click Volt Switch, so you can threaten them with like a Scale Shot from the Koraidon or your own attack from the Miraidon. Specifically, it's a interesting Grimmsnarl set with Sucker Punch, Thunder Wave, Light Screen, and Fake Out. Only running one of the screens, not Reflect, just running Light Screen to boost the special defense of these Pokemon. You do have Intimidate with the Incineroar to help out on the physical side. You have Fake Out, which is able to help some support, allowing Koraidon to be able to get a Scale Shot off, Volcarona maybe get Tailwind up, or Miraidon to just fire for a really strong hit. Thunder Wave for the extra speed control, and then Sucker Punch just for that priority, and it can really help out against like the Calyx Shadow Rider especially. And then the EV Spread, this is just a max HP Grimmsnarl with 156 in defense with an Impish Nature and then 100 special defense. You do have Light Screen that is helping the Grimmsnarl on the specially defensive side, while you do have Intimidate from the Incineroar help out its weaker physical defensive side. And yeah, this Grimmsnarl is mainly to help support with Fake Out, Light Screen, and Thunder Wave. A little bit different from the conventional Grimmsnarl running Reflect, but just generally wants to get those moves off with the Thunder Wave, Light Screen, just so the Koraidon Miraidon can be able to take attacks for a couple turns so they can dish out as much damage as they possibly can. Next Pokemon we have is the Electric Seed Volcarona, which is the glue of this team with the Flame Body ability, which gives the chance of Volcarona burning a target if it comes into physical contact with Volcarona, with the Water Terror type, which is great to help out and get rid of its 4 times weaknesses to Rock, but also really strong Fire type moves and a pretty good defensive typing that still resists the Glacial Lance and those Fire type moves that are really powerful against Volcarona. With Fiery Dance, Rage Powder, Tailwind, and Protect. Overall, Volcarona is a really strong mon that can really benefit from Miraidon and Koraidon, while also just being a really strong mon that is just able to help switch in with both of these Pokemon, because Miraidon and Koraidon do share a lot of the same weaknesses. They're both weak to Ice and Fairy, for example, and Volcarona is really able to help out because it is a really strong resist and does really benefit from both of them. Koraidon does summon the Sun, which is able to reduce the super effective water type moves from doing damage to Volcarona, but at the same time powering up its fire type moves, while Miraidon is able to give the Volcarona the electric seed boost, which is really helpful because Volcarona doesn't have the best physical defense in the world. So it can take advantage, and Volcarona is really strong as a pivot, as well as to support mom with Rage Powder and Tailwind options, which gives speed control and redirection to the really powerful restricted. Overall, this Volcarona is meant to really just be able to tank attacks, max HP, 204 defense, and 52 special defense with a bold nature. It is really just able to sponge up the attacks, get the Tailwind, and pretty much just set up the Koraidon and Miraidon for success, while being able to get some pretty strong chip damage thanks to the Fiery Dance. And if it's able to get the special attack boost from the Fiery Dance that's able to go for, it can actually become a sweeper on its own point. Next Pokemon we have the Assault Vest Incineroar with the Intimidate ability with the Water Terra type with Flare Blitz, Knockoff, Fake Out, and U-Turn. It's a pretty standard Incineroar, what to say. Having pivot options for the Miraidon, Koraidon, they're really strong attackers, but need a few things like the Volt Switch. Miraidon needs to be able to switch in something to be able to tank attacks, as well as the Koraidon might need to reposition to avoid the Intimidates. And having your own Incineroar, of course, really great as a resist to Calyx Ice Rider, as well as Calyx Shadow Rider that are super threatening. That Assault Vest is just able to help out the Incineroar take its special attacks extremely well, while at the same time Intimidate is able to support the entire team. The moveset's pretty common, of course, strong fire type move, knock off to get rid of items, Fake Out for the support, and then U-turn to be able to reposition. EV Spread, it is one that is mostly focused on the physical defensive side, but still is able to have an animate nature with 36 investment that gives an extra stat point in its attack, and that allows the Incineroar still to be able to do some pretty solid damage across the board. Near max HP, a good amount of physical defense, some special defense to take advantage of the Assault Vest, boosting it, and then just a little bit of extra speed. This allows Incineroar to be able to outspeed base 100s after a Tailwind is set up from the Volcarona. And yeah, there's not really much to say about Incineroar. We all know how strong of a supportive Pokemon that this is. Final Pokemon is the Focus Sash Fluttermane with the Photosynthesis, giving it a speed booster while under the sun with the normal Terra type, which is to be able to help out against the Ghost type moves, especially the Astral Barrage and Moongeist Beams. The Moonblast, Icy Wind, Taunt, and Protect. It's just a really great staple next to the Koraidon, a really annoying Pokemon for some teams to get rid of, just because that Focus Sash allows the Fluttermane to stick around for an extra turn. The Icy Wind and Taunt are really great disruptions. Moonblast is able to hit for a pretty good amount of damage, especially into the opposing dragons that Miraidon and Koraidon don't exactly like dealing with. Still does have some options there, and pretty much just max special attack, max speed. Really great support with Koraidon, of course, and can just dish out a ton of damage across the board. It is a very strong supportive option with really good ways to hit opposing Pokemon, and of course having another switch in to be able to switch into the really strong dragon type moves and be immune to it is always a big bonus. So how to use the team? A lot of this team is about setting up your restricteds. Miraidon and Koraidon are really strong damage dealers, of course. They are a little bit on the frail side, specifically Koraidon, because it does take a lot of recoil. And Miraidon, of course, it's really powerful, but a lot of opponents will respect it because it is one of the most popular restricted Pokemon in the format. So you are able to dish out a ton of damage, use the Incineroar and Volcarona to be able to pivot especially, and set up positions for like Tailwind, Fake Out support, so the Miraidon and Koraidon can get as much damage as they can onto the opponent safely. And of course you do have the supportive options of Grimmsnarl and Fluttermane to be able to set up, whether it's Light Screen, whether it's Thunder Wave, or Icy Wind Speed Control, Taunt to disrupt your opponent's strategies. It's really just about dishing out as much damage as possible, utilizing the powerful bikes with the Sun and the Electric Terrain enabled, which also benefits the partners because getting rid of the Amoonguss Spore, setting up the Electric Seed on the Volcarona, the Sun boosting up the Incineroar and Volcarona's damage output, they are able to benefit from the abilities as well. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And let me know in the comments down below, do you watch VGC streams other than the Pokemon tournaments, such as live streams on Twitch or YouTube, or do you mainly just watch YouTube videos? I would like to know, because I might experiment with streaming both on YouTube and Twitch. I currently do stream on Twitch for Pokemon VGC, but I am debating about doing multi-streams for both. So let me know what you think down below in the comments, and let me know, do you watch VGC streams on Twitch, YouTube, or both? But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. What am I looking at here? Pikachu, Clefairy, Hisuian Zork, Wellspring Ogerpon, Kyogre, and Calyrex Ice Rider. I have fear. I actually have fear. Okay, how am I performing against this team? All right. This is gonna be a weird one. For sure. I mean, Calyrex Ice Rider against both of these is not exactly the hottest start, especially because I can't go for electric type moves because of the Pikachu. All right, this is gonna be difficult. Do I want screens? It kind of depends. I don't think I do. I believe my best lead is probably just Incineroar Miraidon. Yeah, Incineroar Miraidon seems fine for the most part. Have the Volcarona in the back and the Koraidon, because if they lead the Cali Ice and they don't lead the Kyogre, I swap out into Volcarona on the Miraidon and it's a pretty safe pivot. If they decide to bring the Kyogre, I can always just pivot out into Koraidon, so I don't think it'd be too bad here. This is a tricky one because Cali Ice Ogre, but Pikachu Clef is going to make this difficult because it's just making it harder to get the attacks into the restricteds I need. So we'll find out. I can't even lead Koraidon to deal with the Calyrex Ice Rider and force a potential Terra because there is the threat of the Kyogre. So we're going to see Cali Ice plus Pikachu, okay? Versus Incineroar and the Miraidon. All right, this could be a Zoroark angle from one of these Pokemon. We can tell by if the Calyrex Ice Rider, but we can't tell because of the Pikachu. So Calyrex Ice Rider is real. Good to confirm that. Let's see if it's clear amulet or not, because that's a pretty big deal. As we do get the electric terrain up. Intimidate going to affect the Calyrex Ice Rider, affects the Pikachu. Okay, not really too much anything to note here. So it is in clear amulet on the Cali Ice, which is really solid. I believe I'm okay with going for a knockoff immediately into the Cali Ice and swapping into the Volcarona here. There isn't really too much that I could say. Maybe they go for fake out, maybe they go for upper hand. I think all of those are fine. If this is Hisuian Zork, I won't do crazy amounts of damage, and then I could just go for a knockoff and they're vulnerable to a knockoff the next turn, so I don't really mind that too much. If it is Pikachu, they might fake out my Miraidon because I think you would have to respect Draco Meteor, but we'll see. Could be Terra Fairy on the Cali Ice. Bring out the Volcarona, which is super safe play. Does get the Electric Seed boost, and we should be able to tank attacks with it pretty well. We're going to see Pikachu protect, so this is either Zoroark or maybe they're scared of fake out Gleam. Okay, so they just double protect on the potential knockoff here. Okay, that works. That works out well for me. Okay, I don't have Will-O-Wisp. I do just want to go for a knockoff into the Koraidon, and I think, or into the Cali Ice, and I think I'm just gonna go for a Fiery Dance attempting the Pikachu. There's not anything Pikachu can really do in this position that I don't believe, unless there's some interesting Terra move here, like a Terra Blast or something I'm just forgetting here. But I will go for knockoff into Cali Ice, Fiery Dance to break a potential Sash on the Pikachu. Let's see. The Cali Ice retreats, so whatever is coming in takes a knockoff, which is pretty good. Kyogre, sure. I don't mind that, because I can just switch into Koraidon the next turn. Taunt. Okay, so this is Zoroark, I think, because I'm pretty sure that Raichu doesn't get access to taunt. So we do get the Fiery Dance off into the Pikachu. Or the Zoroark. It should be the Zoroark. Get a special attack boost, which is nice. Yep. Okay, it is Zoroark. Confirmed. And I do get the knockoff into the Kyogre, and that does some pretty good damage. Ability Shield. Sure. Sure. All right, they taunted my Volk, right? Yeah, they taunted my Volk. Yes. I don't really want to take Water Spouts. I could Terrasilize the Volcarona. So Pikachu's in the back. We confirm all four of the Pokemon. I think my best play is just to get in my Koraidon, I think. And it's either KO the Zoroark. I think KOing the Zoroark is fine. Because, like, its ability... Oh, wait. Are you Rain Dance? Zoroark. Oh, if it's Rain Dance Zoroark, I made a mistake. Okay, they switch out to Kyra. Into Cali? Okay, back into Cali. That's fine. Could have been way worse. Trust me. Could have been way worse. As we do retreat our Incin to go out and Koraidon and get the sun up. Kind of curious if Scale Shot would KO to Kyogre. I don't know. Knockoff did do a good chunk of damage to the Kyogre, but I can't really say for certain. They go for a Will-O-Wisp into my... Ooh, they read the Koraidon switch. That is a very nice dodge. So I don't know how much I'll need it because I don't know if Koraidon's really going to be able to get the attacks off, but we do knock out the Zoroark, which is great. Okay. All right, Kyra is definitely coming back in. Yep. Do I want to switch is the question. I think the optimal play... It's probably to always get Incin here. Unfortunately, I can't protect because this is the last turn and I don't want to switch to Glacial. So I think I will go for the Terra Water commitment here. I didn't need my Terra for anything else. And I guess I'll just get some damage onto the Cali Ice. Because the extra damage into Kyogre doesn't matter. I don't know if they're going to go for a Trick Room Water Spout here. That is definitely a pretty strong option if they want to go for that. Or Origin Pulse. I mean, I guess it's not Mystic Water Kyogre. Assault's Incin might actually live the hit here. Just because it is not Mystic Water. Well, we had its item knocked off regardless. But they're also not full HP. So this could be Origin Pulse. But they just don't do any damage to Volcarona. Especially with the Intimidate and the +1 from the Electric Seed boost. We bring out the... Volcarona, Origin Pulse. That is a nice instant dodge. Not necessary, but that is very nice still. As we get the Fiery Dance off. That's good damage to the Cali Ice. A special attack rise. They just Trick Room. Okay. But because they Trick Room, they didn't go for the attacks. I mean, this works out for me. Leftovers Cali Ice. Okay, so it's probably just like leftovers HT, which is completely fine. Volcarona shakes up the taunt so I can protect, but I don't really need to protect in this position. I think I'm going to double up the Kyogre slot with U-turn plus Fiery Dance. It might double protect here. They could protect the Kyogre, but Cali Ice can't do much, so I think that's all right. I think I'm just doubling up the Kyogre regardless, because Pikachu could come in that slot. They decide to protect the Cali Ice. This is protect the Kyogre as well. Oh, it's not. Okay, so I do get the U-turn off into the Kyogre. I get a crit, so I'm just getting a lot of RNG. I don't think the burn really matters on Koraidon because I don't think I'm getting an attack off of Koraidon realistically. But we always go into Koraidon here to get the sun up. But yeah, that's why I went for the U-turn because I always got the U-turn safe probably into the Koraidon, I imagine, to get the sun up. Fiery Dance. It's a fast Kyogre too. The Volcarona's faster, which is nice. And we KO'd a Kyogre because of the crit. I mean... Even if we didn't get the crit, like, what was it going to do? I guess if it has Thunder and hits a Thunder out in Sun, maybe. But I think the odds there were really unlikely. Okay. Electric Train disappears from the field, which is fine. This is Pikachu coming in. I mean, if they hard read me and have the right tools, I guess they could get, like, a bunch of plays right. But I think my... best option is just to switch out to Incin and just protect the Volcarona. Like, I don't really see how they punish this other than, I don't know, Feint plus some Seed Bomb or Terra attack into my Volcarona, I suppose. But yeah, Incin is just safe. I do get another Intimidate into the Cali, so it's just not really doing anything. And then once the Trick Room is over, I should just be able to win by clicking attacks with my Miraidon, assuming it's able to land Dracos, or I could just maybe spam Gleam. If I get rid of the Pikachu, I can just spam an Electric type move, assuming the Cali Ice doesn't have a defensive Terra. But what an interesting game, I'll say this much. Bring out the Incin, get another round of Intimidate into the Cali Ice. Just play safe with the Volcarona, no need to risk it. I get to find out a potential move from the Pikachu, if it's physical or special. The Leech Seed into my Koraidon slot, which is the Incin. They have another punish. They have Volt Tackle. Okay, so it's probably offensive Pikachu. Good to know. I really don't mind this. I'm gonna double up the Pikachu, I think. Because if it's Leech Seed, Cali Ice, it's at -2. It's really not doing any damage. Pikachu's unironically the Pokemon that does more damage here. I'm gonna U-turn and I'm just gonna Fiery Dance. I hope my Instant isn't faster than the Cali Ice, but we'll figure it out. They made a good Protect play. That is a good play on their part. They probably Leech Seed my Volcarona. Yep. I mean, they stack up the Leech Seed, but like at the end of the day, like I don't think it matters too much. U-turn. And Fiery Dance. Okay. Are they gonna go for the double? If it's Volt Tackle, it's probably not Sash, right? Also, did they Terra, or am I crazy that they're just leaving in these Pokemon without terrestrializing the Cali? Because that is just insane if I went for a Fiery Dance in that slot. Because I could have went for Fake Out a Pikachu and Fiery Dance attempt. Alright. That's our Trick Room. Gonna go for the... I think Pikachu always attempts to double. I have no idea if the Cali Ice attacks. I think I just U-turn to Cali Ice and I go for Fiery Dance. Yeah, they spam Glacial here, which makes sense because they know that the Pikachu's probably getting targeted, but they didn't go for the double up there, so get a U-turn off. Do I want to go Koraidon or do I want to go Miraidon? It's probably always better to go Koraidon, I think. Yeah. Always better to go Koraidon. Because I don't want to power up the Pikachu's Volt Tackle if it's necessary. Yeah, but I do outspeed with the Volcarona. I do get the Fiery Dance off with the Volcarona, and it's not Focus Sash Pikachu because with Volt Tackle, I'd assume it's Light Ball. So I'm in a good spot. Maybe it's like Water Cali Ice, but they're just scared of tearing because of the potential of Miraidon coming in, which makes sense. So they had to make aggressive reads here to try and come back. We're gonna return to normal. I am hecka boosted though with this Volcarona. We're gonna go out into Instant and we're gonna click Fiery Dance. If they go for Protect, I can Fake Out Fiery Dance next turn. If they decide, hey, I'm gonna go for Trick Room, well, they have to Terra commit here. And if they go for Glacial, they just lose. Because then I just pin it, the Cali Ice with my Instant plus my Miraidon. And yeah, they protect it. Fine. It's like, this is the problem with Leechy Calyx Ice Rider. If your only attack is Glacial Lance, and I have multiple switches to Glacial Lance, it just works out. So Sun fades, but at this point I do win by clicking Fake Out into Fiery Dance. Fake Out. Also debating about just swapping here into Miraidon. Actually, no, swapping to Miraidon makes sense. Yeah, because they have to Terra. That was gonna be forfeit. I think like if they're Terra Water, I Fake Out Electro Drift, and even if that doesn't happen, I could always like if this play doesn't work, I just go for Volt Switch into Flare Blitz in Sun because I bring out Koraidon and that definitely KOs. Like the only way it could be maybe it's Terra Ground in Sin, I suppose, but they'd have to crit the Miraidon. Like there's so many factors that they would need even if they have the right set in order to win. So yeah, did get a bit lucky against the Kyogre, but I don't think any of the luck really mattered. I mean, Origin Pulse Miss was kind of huge, but I don't think it was KOing instant, though it did give me like way safer lines into the Cali Ice in the end game. But I think I gotta still pivot around just because I probably could have got like, again, multiple Intimidates off in the Cali Ice regardless. Stalled out the Trick Room, and I'm pretty sure that I could have had an end game with like Miraidon Volk just cleaning up. Miraidon, Calyx Ice Rider, Incineroar, Whimsicott, Landorus Incarnate, and the Urshifu. Okay, this is, I believe, the 6 that won Korean Nationals. All right, so this is Crunchland I with Tickle Whimsicott. So it should be a fun one to deal with. The Ursh was Mystic Water Taunt. Assuming that there's the same sets. I don't mind leading Miraidon plus the Incineroar. I know there was Salt Vest on their on, so that helps because I don't have to worry about like really strong damage output. Did I bring Grim? Screens aren't terrible, but I don't think they're necessary, especially since I don't have Reflect. I probably would want either Fluttermane or Volcarona instead. I think I'm gonna go with Koraidon. Not having Earth Power Switch is really difficult. But if I bring Flutter, I need good answers to Cali Ice. What was the Cali Ice set on this team? I don't remember. I think it's Leech Seed. I think it's solo Leech Seed. Brain Volk. This is going to be difficult, mainly because the Landorus is a tough one. The Landorus, Miraidon, Cali Ice stuff is just going to be difficult. Otherwise, I think I could manage everything else, but those three specifically together are going to be difficult. I need to figure out a way to break through. We're going to see Whimsicott plus Miraidon, okay? Versus Miraidon and Incineroar. It's Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam on their Miraidon. I think I'm okay with just going for a fake out Dazzling Gleam into their Miraidon turn 1. And then probably Terra my Miraidon turn 2. Although if I... No, that's fine if I do that, because I do... Even though I lose my Ursh Resist, I mean, I still have Koraidon. I think we do fake out and we just go for Gleam. I'm not going to Terra Gleam here. Alright, they retreat Miraidon because they don't want to take much damage. But what's coming in? So, because somebody would take a really powerful Alex. Okay. Interesting. I'll take it though. I'll take it. Get a fake out off into the Cali. Get a crit. Light screen gonna come out. Okay, so they're bulked up here. Is last Pokemon Lando? Probably Lando. I get a Gleam off. Not bad damage. Not incredible. Volcarona is really good here. Wait, did they change the team? The Cali Ice doesn't have lefties. Oh wait, this could be the team that just won Utrecht. Wait, but that team also had lefties. Interesting. I think I'm just gonna go for a knockoff into the Cali Ice and swap out into Volcarona. Like, Volcarona is in a super safe position. If I get rid of Cali Ice, my dragons are more freed up. I think Whimsicott should go down to 1 Fiery Dance after it's taken already that much amount of damage. Oh, Terra. Are they going for a Glacial? Okay. I'll take it. Get a knock. What item are you? Clear Amulet. Okay, they changed the team, I guess. Or was it Clear Amulet on the original? I thought it was... Actually, no. It wasn't Leftovers. Maybe it was So maybe it was Clear Amulet Leech Seed. I mean, that works out great for me. I'm doubling up the Whimsicott here because I know the Whimsicott doesn't have Protect, and I like the idea of going for the Fiery Dance. They go for Tickle into Bulk, but... Is that set up for anything? I mean, I'm neutral defense, but like, does that do anything for you? Get the Fiery Dance off. Also, that Cali Ice is slow. I do bring the Whimsicott low. I mean, they went for the high horsepower. They get Flame Body punished. Okay. This has been a very interesting game so far. I'll just say that much. I get the Whimsicott KO. Beautiful. And now I get to go out into Koraidon, I think. Because I get to double protect to start stalling the Tailwind turns. Or I think this is the last turn of Tailwind coming up. I also stall out the burn damage that the Cali Ice is really going for. Yeah, this has been very interesting so far. They don't have Reflect up. We could see the Miraidon coming in, which is fine. I mean, if they trigger him, I mean, my Instin's still in a good position. They have 2 turns of Tailwind, 2 turns of Light Screen. I would like to see what the Miraidon wants to try to click here. Like, if they go for Dazzle, it works out for me pretty well. Also, if they don't tear, I get the Scale Shot off. I have a feeling that they're not going to go for it, though. A Volt Switch into Koraidon. And a Glacial Lance. Okay. So they probably read a Terra Fire, which makes sense. Alex is going down the next turn, confirmed. I think my best play is just to click a Terra Fire Scale Shot into the Miraidon and click Rage Powder. They probably don't expect Scale Shot, I'm thinking at this point. They retreat the Cali Ice. Oh, so they could Volt Switch to Volcarona. That makes sense. Oh, it's Incineroar back. I'll take that. I will take that. I do not mind this position. I think this position is really good for me because I get the Scale Shot off into the Cali Ice. If I miss it, that ain't even terrible, I think, but it would be ideal if we hit the Cali Ice. So then we can fake out the Miraidon the following turn and get a Scale Shot afterward. I guess I misremembered. I thought it was leftovers Cali Ice, but I think it was clearing it, I guess. Volt Switch, gonna take the KO on Volcarona, but Volcarona did his job, which was specifically dealing with that Cali Ice. As they retreat into the Cali Ice. Please hit the Scale Shot so I can get the boost. All right, nice. So we get the speed boost, which is really important. They haven't terrored yet, which is something I do have to note. So we can force a potential Terra. Light Screen's also over on their team. Tailwind Peter's out. Rain disappears, but it's going to be summoned when we both send in our Miraidons. I go Miraidon first because we have no idea what the instant speed on their team is. I think my best play is to bring out my Miraidon, because they're going to bring out their Miraidon. Because I get to find out some speed interactions. Their Miraidon's faster than mine. Good to confirm. But I think our play is just to protect swap to instant anyway. Because if they Draco Meteor, that means it's a -2 Miraidon. If they go for a... I think if you attack my Miraidon, you're going to go for Draco Meteor. Otherwise, you're going to attack my Koraidon with like Electro Drift. So my plan here is to get instant in. And if I take a Draco Meteor, I think my Miraidon will live to Draco. And if they decide, hey, I'm going to go for Electro Drift into the Koraidon slot, I can fake out Flare Blitz the Miraidon the following turns. We do see the Terra, so this is Terra Fairy. Beautiful. And now it just depends on what they decide to go for here. Because I'm pretty sure it's a Solvus Miraidon, so the damage shouldn't be impressive. And Incineroar might live at Draco Meteor since it is Solvus. Okay, so it's Dazzling Gleam coming out. All right. They Terra. They committed their Terra, which means they're vulnerable now. And unless the Miraidon has Protect or they crit me with their Instant, I think I have a great chance to win. That also shouldn't be Specs damage. I think. Unless they change the team. They might have changed the team. Who knows? But we Flare Blitz and we fake out. We have the sun up. We have an extra turn for boosting power. Let's see. Flare Blitz will come out. How much does this do? Almost KOs a Miraidon. Almost. Okay, we get the burn to guarantee. Because if the only way I would potentially lose the situation is if they knock off crit my Koraidon. So let's see if they do. Okay, they don't knock off crit. And knock off crit didn't even look like a KO. So I would have guaranteed to win anyway. Because even if I got the burn, I still go for Flare Blitz in the Miraidon next turn. Unless they change the Miraidon to have Protect, which... what do you get rid of if you don't have Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, Draco, Electro Drift? Like, yeah, I just don't think it's Protect Miraidon at that point. And yeah, I guarantee to win by going for a Scale Shot. I go for knockoff. I mean, my own Miraidon will clean up. You take the win. Oh, okay. Interesting. They were really willing to sack the Cali, like super early, but that's what happens, I guess, when you don't have a switch. You could have went Instant, but you would take a lot. Like, no matter what, someone was taking a lot and they valued the Miraidon more, and I was able to take advantage of like just getting a bunch of damage. The fact that they didn't tear the Kali Ice just made it easier for the rest of my team to like play around, because I had double fires against Kali Ice plus Whims, which double fire was just super chill in that position. You couldn't really swap out because the momentum would have been awkward when I got in like my Pokemon next to a Rage Powder Volcarona, like my Miraidon next to my Volcarona would have been pretty difficult. Dazzling Gleam would have done a lot. So yeah, really tough position. I felt like I kept it up, and yeah, luckily was able to clean up the end game. Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, there is a Calyx Shadow Rider, Eternatus, Rillaboom, and Urshifu. It's always the Eternatus that's gonna be the deciding factor, because I can't tell if this is some stall team or if this is just gonna be like a Meteor Beam Power Herb set, which I could very much see on this team. All right, my Koraidon is unfortunately not X speed, so I do have to play cautious of Eternatus. I have a few different options. The Shadow Rider is a little bit difficult. I would want to bring my restricteds for sure. The question is, who am I having to back? Bulk is decent, but it's not like necessary. Although Tailwind and Rage Powder, I guess, are really nice here. I guess I'll go with Miraidon plus Volcarona, because we could force a Terra out of Eternatus super early. I want Incineroar. I kind of want Fluttermane, because Icy Wind on the Eternatus would be so nice. But if I have Tailwind, I guess it's not necessary, right? And like Volcarona is better than Fluttermane into like a lot of these Pokemon, other than I guess technically Shadow Rider. But then again, like I think against Shadow Rider, if I was going against it, I would probably want Shadow Ball. So let's try this combo out and see. We're gonna see Grimmsnarl and Incineroar. Okay, so it's a pretty standard screens lead. I'd assume this is screens at least. We lead Volcarona plus the Miraidon. I'm just gonna go for damage. They're just gonna go for a light screen and fake out, or light screen parting shot. Either one is fine. I think I would probably, do I want damage immediately with Gleam, or do I want to just click Electro Drift immediately? I'm kind of leaning towards just clicking Electro Drift initially. Intimidate gonna go off. Not really much to say here. This is probably definitely setting up screens. This Eternatus will be rough though. Eternatus might be very rough. We're gonna go for Electro Drift into the Grimmsnarl, and we're gonna go for a Fiery Dance into the Grimmsnarl as well, because they're faking out probably Miraidon, which is fine. Yep. Light screen gonna go up, and we get a special attack boost. A special attack boost would be lovely from this Fiery Dance. We do get the Fiery Dance off into the Grim. Decent damage. No special attack boost. I don't think Electro Drift Fiery Dance takes a knockout, which I a little bit is unfortunate here. I think we just still go for an Electro Drift. I want to target Instant, because I would like damage on Instant, so it can't pivot in as much. I think I do want Electro Drift. Do I want Electro Drift, or do I want Draco? I was planning on switching out the next turn anyway. I think we just Draco the Instant, because I don't want to take helmet damage. Because every bit of chip might put me in range of an Astral Barrage from Calyx Shadow Rider. So I think I'm going to Fiery Dance, and I'm just going to Draco. Oh, they stay in. Draco Meteor, that's probably Assault Vest Instant, because that did nothing. We get a Fiery Dance off. Unfortunately, it looks like they went for Spirit Break. Yeah, I take a lot of damage here. Okay, that's not ideal. That is really not ideal. Oh, they went for Knockoff. I could work with that. It's not ideal, but I can work with that. I think my play is just to always Volt Switch the... I think it's Volt Switch to Instant and Fiery Dance the Grim. That did nothing to the Instant, or it's definitely Assault. I mean, I'm -1. I don't have my specs anymore, but that's just crazy. We're gonna go into our own Instant. I wonder if I don't think Volt Switch Fiery Dance was gonna take the Grimmsnarl into a specific range of any attacks that I want to go for, so I think this probably is all right. We get another fiery dance off. Can we get a special attack boost? Any boosters? Okay, we finally get a boost, which is nice. As they go for Spirit Break into my Ensign. And then their Ensign probably U-turns here. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so they're about to get Reflect Up, which is not ideal, but we gotta deal with what we gotta deal with. This is Eternatus. Are you the Covert Cloak set is one I'm gonna have to really figure out here. I think I'm just gonna go for Fake Out and a Fiery Dance into the Grim because I don't want to deal with Thunder Wave in the next couple turns. So hopefully it's not the Covert Cloak set, but if it is the Covert Cloak set, that means it doesn't have Meteor Beam. They go for Parting Shot, so they don't have Thunder Wave. Are they going back to their Instant or are they going Shadow Rider? I mean, if they go Shadow Rider, I love getting damage on the Shadow Rider. They still have Knockout Reflect Up, which is nice too. They go Incineroar. Okay, perfect. I do not mind this. I do not mind this. They do flinch. Nice. As we get a Fiery Dance off into the Incineroar. Okay. A boost. That's lefties. This is okay. So I don't have to play scared of Meteor Beam, but this Eternatus is about to become a very big nuisance, isn't it? I can't even hard switch into. This is gonna be rough. I think we gotta target everything around the Eternatus for this current couple of turns. I'm just gonna focus down on the partners. They fake out my Volk, which is cool. Yep, Cosmic Power. Okay. So it's one of these Eternatus, which is fine. Because I will get a Fiery Dance, or I do get a U-turn off into Incin. I think I always go Koraidon here and click Scale Shot. I think Terra-wise, I always Terra my Koraidon, because the Terra on my... Can I just Scale Shots the Eternatus? I might be able to. They only have one Cosmic Power, so if I can get a big Scale Shot with the boost, I could really heavily damage them, which could be massive. I'm debating about it because it might be super worth it. I think I will go for Scale Shot into Eternatus. I'm gonna go for Fiery Dance into the Incineroar. Let's see. All right, they retreat here, just sacking Grim. Okay, I will take it because that means they didn't get Reflect Up this game, so I will gladly take that. We will Terra our Koraidon, and I don't think Eternatus is going to Terra because unless they predict Scale Shots, that means they're vulnerable to the powerful Flare Blitz. So I think they're going to attack with... They're not going to Terra with Eternatus and probably attack. So we do get the Scale Shot off into Eternatus. We get a first turn crit, which is what I'm talking about. If we get a 5-hitter, we knock out the Eternatus, which is huge. Can we get the 5-hitter? But that's big damage into Eternatus already. We get the 5-hitter. Goodbye, Cosmic Power, Screen, Stall Eternatus. Get him out of here. Then we get the Fiery Dance off into the Grimmsnarl for some beautiful damage. All right, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. As the Fiery Dance will come out into the Grim, pick up the knockout. Excellent. Excellent. Not have said anything better myself. Did not have. All right. So this is Shadow Rider Instant. I mean, the game's not over because Shadow Rider is Shadow Rider, right? Shadow Rider can reverse sweep Pokemon. However, our position's looking very, very nice. Wonder who they fake out. Do they fake out the Volk or do they fake out the Koraidon? My Assault Instant's healthy. I think the play is always the Collision Course, the Instant, and Tailwind. Because I either have a fast... Because, like, no matter who they fake out the Koraidon, I get Tailwind up, and then I can double the Shadow Rider, which is cool by me. And this also prevents, like, Encore situations on if I go for the double protect. I think it's just a better play. If they fake out Astral, it's fine because, like, they can't get a knockout here. And if Shadow Rider protects like that to try and, like, knock off the Koraidon, I'm in literally game-winning position. Beautiful. A collision course going to come out into Incin, take the knockout into Incin, which is awesome. So Incineroar does go down here, and then we get the tailwind up with Volcarona, and now we go for Fiery Dance plus Flare Blitz to take the KO onto the Shadow Rider, outspeeding. So I went for the collision course in case they went for the protect play as well, but also like securing the knockout instant means Shadow Rider's isolated, which was also a big thing. So it also covered for the protect play, but it did work out. I mean, they're gonna go for 4 protects in a row, but or I guess they're stalling out the sun. How many turns of sun are left? I thought this was, I mean, even if they stall out the sun, I still have a instant in the back. So let's see. They also stalled out their own screen and there's still sun left. So they need 2 more protects. They need 1 protect to stall out the sun and 2 to stall out tailwind, but I'm pretty sure I'm sweeping anyway because it's Terrify, Flare Blitz plus a Fiery Dance. They're gonna go for it. It does fail, but this is Terrify, Flare Blitz in the sun, and this is going to probably KO unless you're Focus Sash, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're Focus Sash. Yep, you're Focus Sash. Yep, this is what I expected. And then Fiery Dance will KO the Calyx. But again, I had healthy Incineroar. I get a burn. This Koraidon was just here to game. It was not playing any games under this sun right here. This Fiery Dance gonna take the knockout. And oh, thank goodness I didn't have to deal with like a turn to stall stuff. It's not really fun to play against a turn to stall stuff. But you know what, Koraidon? Scale Shot Koraidon coming in super clutch because I moved to hit Eternatus. It didn't expect the Scale Shot. I got the crit on the first turn, which, I mean, if there are 5 attacks coming for you, a crit is just a higher chance. And the fact that I got the crit first turn into a 5-hitter to take the knockout was incredible. Even if I didn't get that, like, they were still in a rough spot because they took so much damage at that point. So very, very happy with how it worked out. Miraidon, Terapagos, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Xianpao, and Volcarona. Alright. Wonder if it's Electricity Terapagos. My Volcarona is pretty okay in this matchup, although their own Miraidon's a little bit a tricky one here. My Scale Shot Koraidon goes crazy though. My Scale Shot Koraidon goes absolutely crazy against this team. So I will be using my Scale Shot Koraidon. Do I want Fluttermane? Because Icy Wind is pretty good in this matchup. I'd probably say yes. But I want Grimmsnarl. It's not a bad mon. I don't know if I really need my own Miraidon because it really doesn't do that much against my opponent's team. Like, it really doesn't do anything. I mean, it does strong hits, but like my Koraidon does the same thing. Volcarona's pretty decent. Yeah, I think I'd probably just bring the Koraidon Insane, Volcarona Flutter, because I like Flutter Taunt. I like Fluttermane Taunt a lot here. I think I'm just gonna lead Fluttermane plus. I think Fluttermane plus Koraidon's pretty safe with Volcarona Instant back because I have multiple answers to PAL this way, which I think is always good. And having redirection against Terapagos is always solid. My only problem is, can I beat the Terapagos early enough? Can it potentially sweep me? We'll find out. Terapagos plus the Rillaboom. Okay, I didn't lead Miraidon. My Koraidon's in a good position, and so is my Fluttermane. I can go for Taunt and... trying to think. I think I Taunt Flare Blitz. I'm like pretty confident I Taunt Flare Blitz. So Fluttermane gonna get the speed booster while the sun is up. I do have Taunt, so I can taunt this Terapagos. They could go for Fake Out, which is fine. But I could also see Protect Pagos, do something with Rila. I think I'm just gonna taunt the Pagos, and I think I Flare Blitz here. I want to take all that recoil. I think it's probably okay. Because one Star Storm won't knock me out. They just Fake Out here, which makes sense. And Taunt. Okay, beautiful. Let's see if they Star Storm or Calm Mind attempt. Toxic. I've never seen that one before. Okay. Sure. I think I save Fluttermane. I think the place to go Volcarona and Scale Shot the Pagos. I think Volcarona and Scale Shotting the Pagos makes sense because Terapagos should always retreat here. You can't lose Terapagos in this. So I think they're going to go for like maybe a Grassy Glide or Wood Hammer into my Volcarona and the swap Pagos. The Realist switches to Pagos didn't? What if I just Moonblasted Collision Course? They get Intimidated off. Okay. Did they not have Volk? I guess they don't have Volk. Yeah, they don't have Volk. Because if they had Volcarona, they would have swapped in. Okay, so it's probably Miraidon back. Unfortunately, I got this play completely wrong. I mean, Starstorm's going to hurt, but it shouldn't do too much. And I was going to always switch out my Koraidon anyway. But yeah, that is not as pleasant as I would have liked. But I mean, I get damage into Pagos, I guess, which is decent. It's not really doing too much, though, because of the Intimidate. I lost the Sun. But I mean, I still don't know how they're dealing with Koraidon in general in this match. They are going to get a good hit, though, which is unfortunate for me. They did commit their Terra, though, which means that I can target other things, but we'll see. Starstorm? Yeah, it doesn't really do too much damage. I mean, no reason to take damage on Volcarona. I think I just go instant here and protect because it's just a good pivot, and then I can either knock off the lefties or I can go for a U-turn, get back Koraidon in safely, which I think is super ideal. Okay. I mean, I could have Moonblasted Collision Course and that would have been really good damage, but unfortunate. They got me on the turn 2. I got him on the turn 1. They got me on the turn 2. Toxic on Pagos is such an interesting one here. All right, we get Intimidated off into the instant, so it's not going to be able to do much damage to my Volcarona. If it has offense, I will protect here because I'm not taking Fake Out Starstorm on that slot ever. Did they go for Parting Shot into instant? That makes sense because the Fake Out into Koraidon was a bit obvious and not necessary. Okay, no, they just Parting Shot the Volk. Okay. I need damage into the Pagos really badly. All right, let's go for a Fiery Dance into Pagos. And we are going to... Do I also want to knock off or do I want to U-turn? It's always U-turn, I think. I think we U-turn to instant because there's a chance that Pagos protects here. And I would like damage on Miraidon if it comes in, just in case. Substitute. Oh, it's sub-toxic. We break the sub-Fiery Dance because that is actually important. I don't think we do. Sub-toxic is not what I expected. We break the sub? Oh, we don't break the sub. Well, I mean, if it's toxic spam, I'll utilize their own grassy terrain against them to heal back my Koraidon, because like I don't have to worry about them like setting up Calm Minds. All I have to worry about is like toxic damage adding up. Like Miraidon coming in is fine. I get the Electric Seed boost. Oh, it could be Scarf Miraidon. I should probably scout for that. Get U-turn damage. This is Koraidon in. Also, wait, did that... The Pagos got the sub before my Volcarona. How fast is that Pagos? A decent amount, at least. We always go Koraidon here. If we go Fluttermane, it doesn't... I mean, I could taunt, but, like, I don't think that's worth it. All right. I think I get to scout this turn by what they click with the Miraidon. I'm gonna double protect here because they either, if they're Scarf, they are gonna probably try to get a sneak attack, and I feel like they are, because if they do that, it makes a lot of sense. Are they Dazzling Gleam? Do they Volt Switch? They just Volt Switch. Okay. Into Koraidon. Interesting. Starstorm. They should. Yeah. Okay. Starstorms are a bit hard to switch into, though. That's the problem. This is tough. I can try to Fiery Dance Scale Shot the Terapagos. I think this is Scarf Miraidon most likely if they're going for Volt Switch like this. Oh, this was actually not a bad. This was not a good play actually, I think. Because I'm just going to get instant intimidated. Then the Pagos is going to get annoying. Yeah, they have to be Scarf if they're just stack confident and switching in with Volt Switch. Instant coming in. And then I'm just not doing any damage to Pagos, and now I just lost my best. Well, I didn't lose my best answer to Miraidon. I actually could still win with Flutter Mane. So maybe I have a shot because the Pagos' sub did fade after one scale shot. So I get multiple hits. Then I'm going to get a Sun Boosted Fiery Dance off. And then Flutter Mane's in a good offensive position. But the problem is, do I beat their instant? It's actually good damage because I got a 5-hitter. Okay. You're going to get a Starstorm unless they Toxic here for some reason. Do Starstorm, yep. It's weak to Volcarona, but Koraidon going down is not amazing. How much does this Fiery Dance do? Hopefully a good amount. Not a KO, but that's pretty good damage. No special attack boost, unfortunately. Alright. So we can go Flutter Mane. And get our speed booster. I think we always Fiery Dance and we just Moonblast the Pagos. We're forced to Moonblast the Pagos unless we want to read to protect, but they actually don't have, they don't need to protect the Pagos. That's the problem. They could sack Pagos here and it's a legitimate play because they could just try to bring in like the Miraidon in. But they do protect. Okay. I mean, it's still fine. So Insta's not going for Fake Out. Are you going for Parting Shot? Because we do get a Fiery Dance hit into Instant because we do need the damage. Doesn't look like a Assault Vest Instant. Special attack boost is nice here. They knock off the Flutter. Okay, that's fine. Does that mean I should have Terra Fairyed? I mean, I didn't know if it had Flare Blitz or not. Well, I mean, it's Terra Normal, so it didn't change much. I think we just Rage Powder Moonblast anyway. Because unless they're switching on to Rillaboom, but they're probably just sacking Pagos here, which just makes a ton of sense. I get the Rage Powder, as we do go for the Moonblast, which will KO the Pagos. All right. So we have one step, which is getting rid of that Pagos. Because they go for Parting Shot, which is fine, into Volcarona. All right. So the interesting thing about Pagos is they have both Rillaboom and their Miraidon, so they have to think about the terrain order specifically. They're going to go Miraidon first. But if they go Miraidon first, that means they weaken it if they go into Rilla. Sun fades though. That's the annoying part. At least terrain disappears at the moment anyway. So now they don't have boosted attacks into my Flutter Mane. Instant coming back in. Are they just gonna Volt Switch here my Flutter Mane? I think there's a cycle I can do, but I am going to go out into instant and just protect my flutter here, I think. I see a path. I do see a path here to potentially get it, but I'm going to need to get the calls right. So I need to get instant in, because even though I would love the electric seed boost on the Volk with the special attack boost, it's not necessary. I need flutter to KO the Miraidon. They fake out my Volcarona. That makes sense. Probably just to full switch my flutter. Yep, exactly. Now they can't risk fake out into Miraidon and Moonblast, because then they would lose to my instant and my Volcarona. So now I have to make a call of, do they switch out? And if they switch out, what do I do here? I think my best play is just to fake out their instant and get Moonblast damage. Yes. Yes, they will switch out the Miraidon into Rillaboom. Exactly. Okay. That's a good start. That's a good start. All right. Don't be Covert Cloak on the instant, because we haven't technically confirmed the item, if I'm not mistaken. We get a fake out into instant. Okay, it's helmet, which, I mean, I don't like that damage onto my mom, but that's still pretty good damage to instant. We have weakened their instant, which is massive. I still have to get a call right. I think I have to get whether the Rela goes for Grassy Glide here into my flutter, or did they fake out my instant, because the protect on flutter is super obvious. So I have to get this read right. Oh, this is so tough. I think I Moonblast. I think they're gonna fake out my... Oh, they faked out the flut. Wait, why did they fake out the flutter? Why did you fake out the flutter? If you fake out the instant, that makes sense to me. Why'd you fake out the flutter? Did you read Terra? Did you read my Volcarona coming in and thought it was going to do the most damage? Oh, wait, they faked out with the instant into the... Why did they fake out with instant? What? I understand the U-turn, but I don't understand that. What? Okay. I win. I think. This is a close end game, but I'm pretty sure I win. I get a U-turn off. I get the damage of Miraidon. The problem is, does Moonblast KO to Miraidon? Because that's a big one. So we go into Volcarona here. A Rillaboom about to come in, which shuts down the Miraidon. Yeah, so now they don't have the boost. We know it's Scarf Miraidon by how they're playing. Unless they're just max speed and won every single speed type, but I'm like pretty confident they're just max speed or Choice Scarf. We're going to go for a double protect. Do I double protect, or do I switch instant in? No, I don't switch an instant, because if they Electro Drift and catch my instant, it's bad. Yes, I double protect. I double protect here. Because then I could Rage Powder into Moonblast. They should always be going for probably Grassy Glide into my... Oh, wait. Don't always win here. I forgot that they can ignore Rage Powder. Shoot. All right. Wait, did they? Oh, they faked out the Volcarona. Okay. Oh, wait, that was bad. That was bad. I don't always win here. I forgot that Rage Powder is ignored. I don't have Defensive Terra. Shoot. There's no Defensive Terra that I have here. I think if Volcarona lives the Electro Drift, we're fine. We're going to Tailwind and swap to Instant. We need to survive the Electro Drift for Volcarona and get the Tailwind up, because if we get that, we win. Because then Fluttermane will outspeed. Well, the thing is, I still have to deal with the Rillaboom. Maybe this is not nowhere near over. No, actually, I think I'd be fine, but let's see. Electro Drift, this is in the Volk. Let's see if we live. We get the Tailwind up. I think we're golden there, especially if they doubled up that slot. Go for Wood Hammer. Completely forgot about Rage Powder. Ignoring. Do I have a chance? No, I don't. Okay, maybe I do. If I read a misplay here, then I can. Like if I protect Flutter and Flarelets KOs their Rillaboom, but I go down to recoil. Wait, how many turns of terrain? There's too many turns of terrain. And I only got one Intimidate. No, I think it's lost cause. I think it's a lost cause, unfortunately. I'm gonna protect to get grassy terrain recovery, but I think it's a lost cause because they always grassy glide. No, I can't win on timer either. Oh, I thought I had it, but I think I need to reposition. I probably needed to go instant on one of the turns, but then again, I think I need a Tailwind. I think I need a Tailwind earlier. I think I should have, instead of double protecting, I should have probably tried to get instant on the right target. Because I thought like, oh, I could redirect the Grassy Glide, and then I realized, oh, this is not Follow Me, this is Rage Powder. I gotta go for the double. If I get the okay, if I knock off Miraidon and get the double protect, and then I live Grassy Glide, we have an out. I think that's my out. I gotta live Electro Shot or Electro Drift into the instant, or hope they double into my Flutter Mane for some reason, and I need to get the double, but I don't get the double, so I just lose. I think even if that did happen, I'd probably lose on timer to Rila. So I did survive the Electro Drift. Wait, also, oh, they read me to go for the double. Wait, if I went for, actually, no, it didn't matter. No, I actually 100% lost here. Yeah, they made a good end game play, because since the Miraidon Scarf and moves before my Flutter, even if I read them and go for the Moonblast into the Miraidon, then Rillaboom wins at full HP regardless, especially since they double up the instant. Man, I thought I had a chance. I think I played the end game, or not the end game, but I was playing the middle game really well after a poor start. But unfortunately, I lost my Koraidon early, which was a bad decision. I was making some really good plays until I double protected, thinking my end game plan was Rage Powder, redirect a Grassy Glide. And I just feel so stupid for that, because it's freaking Rage Powder and not Follow Me, man. So I can't redirect a Grassy Glide from my Flutter. I thought I had it like Rage Powder, the Grassy Glide goes into Volk, and then the Electro Drift will also go into Volk, but that's not how it works, baby, because it's because no, that's not how it worked. I need to get Incident and probably get a Tailwind up so I can go for a Moonblast, and even then I probably still had to KO to Reel early, or I had to have the same turn where under Tailwind, Instant next to Flutter Mane, so I could fake out Moonblast, which was a tough position to find, but I think I could have potentially found a slot, but I would have had to make a hard read. Calyx, Shadow Rider, Miraidon, Chi-Yu, Whimsicott, Iron Hands, and Incineroar. This 6 was used to win a big VR tournament. I'm not sure if we're going to see the exact same 6, but we'll see how it performs. I thought I wasn't recording for a second, and I almost was like, oh no. But thankfully I am. Okay. We have, what do I want to go here? I don't have a ground type, unfortunately. Would be really nice. Shadow Rider, let me see. Shadow Rider's scary. I can get screen up, but can I screen against this team? It's difficult. I feel like Instant plus Grimmsnarl is not a terrible one, though. I don't really need Volcarona too much. It's probably like the combination of my restricteds in the back. Flutter is nice, though. Like, Flutter is really nice, but it's not necessary. Because if I don't bring Miraidon, my damage output is just super little. Yeah, I think I just bring these four. I would like Flutter, but the thing is, if I'm going screens to survive attacks, then there's no really point of bringing Flutter. Like if I'm doing like Flutter, Incin, Miraidon, Koraidon, I think it could work. But the thing is, I don't outspeed anything after the Tailwind is set up, so there's no point of going for it. We're gonna see Whimsicott plus the Grimmsnarl, or Whimsicott plus Miraidon lead versus Grimmsnarl Incin, which makes sense. As long as they don't hard switch to Shadow Rider for the Whimsicott turn 1, this should be a safe light screen with my Grimmsnarl. I don't think they Tailwind here. I could fake out to knock off the... do I fake out into knockoff the Miraidon? It's not a terrible play. Whimsicott should not be able to KO me with Moonblast. Yeah, no, I think I fake out into knockoff. Getting rid of that item would be really nice. And then I could light screen up, and then Incin takes a lot less damage. So I think that's worth it. Go for the Moonblast, but I should tank one. Yep. Actually taking it a lot easier than I thought I would have. Knockoff going to come out of Miraidon, do a ton of damage. Get rid of that choice spec. So yeah, it's really not doing too much now. Now I can get a light screen up. And I'm going to U-turn the Whimsicott if it's... I mean, I think it's Sash Shadow Rider. No, it definitely shouldn't be Sash Whimsicott. It should definitely be Sash on the... what's it called? It should definitely be Sash on the... Calyx Shadow Rider. But just in case I'll U-turn out the Whimsicott. I think it's a fair play. Let's see what they decide to go for here. They can't Fake Tears me because I know this team had Fake Tears. They can't Fake Tears to Dark types. They can only KO Grim with a double up. Go for the U-turn, okay. So is this an attack into Grim? Maybe an Electro Drift? As we go for the light screen. They do Electro Drift. Does this KO? Okay. I don't mind this. I'm trying to figure out where my Terra is going. Because I'm not tearing Incin because Incin's typing is just so good in this matchup. I think I just go out into Miraidon. I'm just debating about, do I Terra my Koraidon or do I Terra my Miraidon in this match? I think we just go out into Miraidon. We go out into Miraidon, click the Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam, and do a ton of damage. That's what I think. That's what I think, at least. I don't know if I KO Whimsicott, though. That's my only concern. I don't know if I KO Whimsicott. But yeah, we're going to fake out and we're going to go for Dazzling Gleam. Terra Fairy. With light screen up, they're not doing too much damage to our side. And we kind of just pin here. Like if Miraidon switches out, I don't have to worry about the Specs Miraidon in the back. That's for sure. Getting rid of the Whimsicott, I think, is super ideal here. If the Gleam does KO, I don't think it will because I think that's like no investment Whimsicott. I'm more worried about the Fake Tear stuff. The Fake Tear stuff is the scary part because Fake Tears into my Miraidon means the calcs are going to be very different. Although we do have light screen up, but they could stack. Okay, we see a swap here into Iron Hands. Oh, Shadow Rider. Okay, I don't mind Shadow Rider taking a big Dazzling Gleam. What would I want in the... Wow, do I think Koraidon has more value in the end game, or do I think my Miraidon has more end game value? I think I just can't tell who's the last Pokemon on this team because it could be anything. Fake out fails. Are they Fake Tears or Moonblast? Yeah, they Fake Tears. They want to stack up onto my Miraidon with the Astral Barrage, which makes sense. We do get the Dazzling Gleam off. We do KO the Whimsicott. Okay, so that's nice. Unfortunately, this is going to be a very weird next turn because my pivots are not great. If this is Encore Disable Shadow Rider like the original build, it can Encore my Incineroar into Fake Out, and they could Electro Drift my Miraidon with their own Miraidon. So nowhere near over. Yep. How fast is this Miraidon? I might be faster than it. The problem is they could also just like YOLO Astral Barrage plus like Electro Drift my instant, and if I do switch out, I lose the game. Like if I switch out instant, because I want to switch out instant on the Encore to Koraidon as they take the KO into my Miraidon, which would be fine. But I think I'm just going to Flare Blitz and swap out into my Koraidon. I don't think this is right though. I'm like pretty sure this isn't right. Yeah, no, I think I should have risked it, I think. Because they should always Encore my instant. Oh, wait, we see a Terra. Hold up. I go for the Terra. Miraidon Terras? Into Fairy. Why? You have Tailwind up. You outspeed me. Oh, they didn't Encore. They went for Astral. Okay. I mean, you get my Koraidon, but I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Because I get the KO into Cali. All right. That played out very differently than I thought. That worked out. I mean, I guess like Astral Dazzling Gleam gets the KO onto Miraidon while putting on the most pressure on a switch. They gave me the Calyx, which is beautiful. Chi Yu back. Okay, that one's tough. I don't know if I win this. I do not know if I win this. Oh man, because they have one more turn of Tailwinds. It had to be Chi Yu, so I needed Koraidon healthy. Well, even at Koraidon healthy, this is still a tricky spot. I'm gonna Flare Blitz and just Dazzling Gleam, I'm pretty sure. They go for Heat Wave, it's in Sun. But the light screen's really, really good. Wait, they went for Dazzle? Wait, why didn't they Electro Drift? Hold up. Yeah, there was nowhere near enough damage. Now I get the Dazzling Gleam to revenge KO them because Beads of Ruin. And then I Flare Blitz KO to Chi Yu. Wait, why didn't... Did they, did they forget they were knocked off? Because I think the play there for them is to click Electro Drift into Miraidon. Because if they Electro Drift into Miraidon, then I think it's a game. Because they KO'd a Miraidon. I think they KO'd a Miraidon at least. Because it's Electric Terrain. See, yeah, it's Electric Terrain. Single target, Electro Drift. Yeah, I'm pretty sure KO'd. Granted, my instant wouldn't have been damaged. And I still have a... Does my light screen wear off? Because I think it depends on if Chi Yu hits Heat Waves. Because I take the Flare Blitz recoil against the Miraidon. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I still think that their best play was probably just to Electro Drift. Because they should already know that I'm specs based off me KOing the Whimsicott in that range. So, not sure about that one, but I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, let's go over to games. In game one, Pikachu and Hisuian Zoroark. Definitely was not expecting that one. However, felt like I was in a pretty good position for the most part, as I didn't really fall for the Hisuian Zoroark. I felt like my position was pretty good. I did get lucky with the Origin Pulse dodge on the Kyogre, but since it wasn't a boosting item, I don't think it was able to KO. However, it made Incineroar just able to pivot around the Glacial Land so much easier. However, I think I could have still found a good position to stall out Trick Room and clean up in the end game with my remaining Pokemon and a weakened Incineroar at that point. In game two, two fire types against a Whimsicott and Calyx Ice Rider put me in a strong position, as I was able to set up a solid endgame versus the remaining Pokemon with Scale Shot Koraidon. In game 3, Scale Shot Koraidon went crazy here, getting the knockout into the Eternatus even through the Cosmic Power boost, and I was able to clean up their weakened Pokemon from there. In game 4, I played a poor beginning, as I should have targeted the Terapagos, I suppose, though I got every call in the mid game correctly to make it possible to win. Though my endgame plan was bad because I forgot about not being able to redirect the Rillaboom's Grassy Glide with my Rage Powder Volcarona. That meant I had to commit which slot the Miraidon would target, protect on the right target, and then switch Incineroar in and get some positioning to find a way to either KO the Rillaboom and solo the Miraidon or get Tailwind up alongside Fake Out support next to my Flutter Mane, which was difficult but possible. In game 5, felt the start was solid for me, though Calyx coming in and threatening potential Encore was scary. Luckily they went for the damage instead, though I'm surprised they didn't go for the Electro Drift instead of Dazzle. Maybe they thought it would be able to be enough to pick up the knock onto Miraidon even through the light screen. Maybe they just thought that the Miraidon was still locked into Dazzling Gleam even though I went for the knockoff earlier. Who knows, but I was able to get enough damage and clean up from there because I was able to survive the attacks. I am shocked that Miraidon and Koraidon on the same team performed pretty well. I mean, Volcarona was a huge stapler and it was basically the backbone of this team. It really just allowed Miraidon, Koraidon to be able to function because it did love the electric seed boost and it did love the sun to boost up its power, but also it was just a great switch in for both the Miraidon and Koraidon, mainly because it was able to switch into those ice and fairy attacks extremely well with the Volcarona and tank them, while the Miraidon were able to do a bunch of damage. Volcarona was able to set up and actually do a lot to the opponents. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you'd like to try out the team, the rental code is on the screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.